The story begins in a city, Valencia, Spain, where it has been raining heavily for several days. Then we see a lady named Sandra, who is a bank manager, and she has to go to work even in this bad weather. Here, Sandra was under a lot of tension, because the bank she works in is going to lay off many of their employees, and Sandra is afraid that her job might also be lost. Well, on reaching the bank, Sandra finds out that the security staff is getting delayed due to the pouring rain. Now Sandra allowed the bank to open without security, because the customers were waiting for the bank to open for a long time. Now at the request of Sandra, the doors of the bank were opened, and slowly the customers started entering the bank. After a while, Sandra got the news that the bank had also fired her. Now hearing this, Sandra was very angry because despite working honestly for so many years, she was being fired for no reason. Now, a car stops outside the bank, and some masked peoples enter the bank with guns. Here, the only guard in the bank tried to stop these thieves, but the thieves silenced him by scaring him. And after seeing that he threatened to blow up the entire bank with a bomb, one of the staff of the bank secretly tried to raise the alarm. But Alex, the leader of the thieves, saw him and beat him up in front of everyone. On the other hand, a thief named Loco blocked the bank's security cameras, and Sandra in the office was handcuffed. Now the whole media came to know about this theft, and soon, many police vehicles arrived outside the bank. Outside, a senior police officer called the robbers in the bank and asked them to surrender, on which the leader of the robbers, Alex, said, "If you want to see the hostages alive, arrange a helicopter for us, and on the other side." The name Thief Gallego was trying to find something from a device, and as soon as he got the signal, he cut the floor and made away. Now here is the summary that actually the plan of these thieves is to escape through the underground tunnel, and Alex asked for the helicopter to give them a little time to steal. But here their luck was not with them, because due to the rains for the last several days, this tunnel was filled with water. Now, seeing the state of the tunnel, all of them lost faces color, because there was no other way to get out of the bank except through this tunnel. Now Sandra also heard all the talk of these thieves, and here she decided to take revenge from the bank, and take advantage of the compulsion of the thieves. Here Sandra tells the thieves that I can tell you the address of the most valuable locker in the bank, so that you can rob it and earn more. But in return, you have to give me some diamonds. Now here Gallego felt that it might be a trick of Sandra's, but when she was taken at gunpoint, she didn't change her statement. Gallego was convinced of her words. Sandra then tells him about locker number 314, which contains some evidence against an evil leader named Soriano, and if this evidence comes out, the whole country will be in a frenzy. Because the political party that Soriano from belongs that is running the country's government now, according to the deal, Gallego gives Sandra some diamonds and tells her to keep her mouth shut. On the other hand, another leader of Soriano's party named Ferran came to know that there are some evidences against Soriano in a locker of this bank, and if these evidences come out, his party may be in danger, even though no one knows what was in the locker. But still, they had to get the evidence and destroy it, that too by avoiding the eyes of the police. But before that, the thieves have cleaned all the lockers in the bank and started trying to get out of the tunnel with everything. The flow of water in the tunnel was so fast that it was impossible for all of them to move forward. Now here, all their faces turned yellow. Because they were all trapped inside the bank, the police were waiting for them outside, and their last escape route was closed even though they didn't want to. All of them again came to the bank and started trying to get out of here. But in the meantime, Ferran ordered the policemen to go inside the bank and kill all the thieves inside, regardless of the hostages. On the other hand, Senior Officer Jose could not understand on whose request these policemen are going inside, because he is the leader of this mission. But before these policemen are going inside, the other leader of the party stopped the mission here. Now here it is summarized that this leader's name is Jimmy, and he sent these thieves inside the bank so that they can take this evidence out, and on the tail of this evidence he can blackmail his political party now. Hearing this, the rest of the party leaders get fired up because Jimmy is going to use this evidence against them. But Ferran stops them, saying that for now their entire focus should be on getting rid of the evidence, not on fighting each other. Now, since these people could not tell the police about this, they hired a man named Malizo to do this secretly for them. Malizo is an intelligence officer, so he can do this work by living among the policemen. Meanwhile, at the bank, Alex finds out that Gallego gave Sandra some diamonds in exchange for the evidence, so he gets angry and asks Sandra to return the diamonds. But it was no use now because Sandra had swallowed the diamonds by now. After a while, all these thieves had a meeting where Alex showed them all a hard drive. It was actually the same hard drive, which contained all the evidence against Soriano. Here, Alex tells everyone that this hard drive is our last way out of here. Because as long as we have this hard drive, the police will not come inside the bank. But unfortunately, there was a donkey in the gang of thieves. And that donkey's name was Loco. Now here, Loco was itching to see the evidence in that hard drive. And so he connected that hard drive to the computer. But because of entering the wrong password, all the data in the hard drive was lost. And along with that data, also deleted their last hope of getting out. Meanwhile, Malizo, an intelligence officer, called Alex to meet him outside the bank. When Alex gets out, Malizo offers him a deal. If you give me that hard drive, I'll get you out of the bank safely. Now Alex also likes the offer because now they don't have to wait for the water in the tunnel to recede. So Alex accepted the offer and hurried back inside the bank. But here he finds out that all the data on the hard drive has been deleted due to Loco's stupidity. Alex's anger goes to the seventh sky, and he throws Loco to the ground and beats him like dogs. Now here they had no other solution, so they decided to give this empty hard drive to Malizo. Now according to the plan, they all reached the gate of the bank with the hard drive, where the team of Malizo was already waiting for them even though these people belonged to Malizo. But seeing their behavior, Loco became suspicious of them, and Loco realized that Malizo wanted to kill him and take the hard drive from him. Now suddenly, a fight breaks out between these two groups, and these thieves have to return to the bank again. And Alex goes inside and calls Malizo, and gives him 300 curses for this betrayal, to which Malizo says that you are all in a very bad trap, and now you have no choice but to surrender. These thieves realize how much trouble they are all in. These people were not professional thieves, but because of some compulsion they had to do this work, and this was their first theft. Now here Gallego puts his mind to it and explains to Alex that the hard drive is empty, no one knows but us. And Malizo thinks that all the data is still there on the hard drive, so we will take advantage of his misunderstanding and make some arrangements to get out of here. Now Alex also thinks Gallego is right, and he immediately calls Malizo, where he tells Malizo that in the next half an hour, if Ferran did not come to meet them, so they will transfer all the hard drive data to the hostage's phone and make all the evidence public. Now, after listening to Alex's threat, Malizo was left breathless and had to fix the meeting between Alex and Ferran even if he didn't want to. Now their conversation was overheard by Senior Officer Jose, and in this conversation, he heard Soriano's name. Now after a little research, Jose finds out that Soriano is a leader of Rawling Party who was arrested for a murder many years ago. But during the investigation, the police did not find any evidence against him. Therefore, the court found him innocent and pardoned his entire punishment. Now it is summarized that inside this hard drive there were some evidences against Soriano, but his party and these evidences were collected by Soriano himself, so that he can blackmail his party and dismiss the allegations against him. Now when Ferran reaches the thieves, Alex asks him for a bus so he can get to the airport and get out of the country. Here Ferran agreed to all their conditions, but in return he wanted to see the videos in the hard drive. But when Alex did not agree to show the videos even after many requests, Ferran started to doubt him, but as long as that hard drive was in Alex's possession, he couldn't take any chances. Meanwhile, he arranged a bus for the thieves so that he could take them to the airport, but actually his plan was something else. Malizo cleverly placed a bomb under the bus so that it would detonate and kill the thieves on the way. And that hard drive will be gone along with these thieves. Although Gallego doesn't quite trust the Malizo as he has betrayed them before, and it's hard to fathom that the Malizo would let them get away so easily, Alex tells Gallego that as long as we have that hard, they can't spoil anything for us. But their bad luck is here. When one of Ferran's detectives informs him that all the data on the hard drive that the thieves have has been deleted, and that Alex has fooled them all, making Ferran blush with anger, and quickly informed Malizo about this. But due to his anger, he forgot to see that Senior Officer Jose was also with him. And for such a big mistake, Malizo took him to the corner and scolded him. But all this was of no use because the thieves had started leaving the bank, and there was going to be a loud explosion in the next few steps. But then there was a commotion at the gate of the bank, and the thieves removed their masks from their faces. Now here we know that these are not all thieves, but the hostages who were held captive by the thieves. Alex and his friends send the hostages out with their clothes, and jumped into this tunnel with all the looted property. Fortunately, the water level in the tunnel decreased a little because the weather had changed a lot in the last 2 days, although there was still plenty of water in the tunnel. But even so, his companions did not give up, and as they crossed the tunnel. On the other hand, when Malizo understood the whole thing, he sent his team inside. But by the time his team reached the tunnel, Alex and the rest of his colleagues had changed clothes and reached the railway station. On the other hand, Ferran and Malizo found out that the news of this hard drive has spread all over the media, and the people of the country have also come to know about their dark deeds. Now, none other than Senior Officer Jose was behind this work, when Ferran mentioned this hard drive to Jose. Then he understood the whole story, and he gave this news to the entire media, that Ferran and his party had staged this bank heist to get a particular hard drive. On the other hand, Alex and the rest of his friends split the loot up and went their separate ways, all with big smiles on their faces, knowing that as long as they had that hard drive, no one can say anything to them. I hope you like this story. If you like the video, then like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.